So I just got this exciting email from OpenAI that we have the Chat GPT API. Yes, based on the GPT 3.5 Turbo. This is great because so far I've been using DaVinci 003, and now we can just migrate to GPT 3.5 Turbo and expect it to behave exactly like the original Chat GPT, which means more sophisticated answers and continuous chat. So the users will be able to get answers about the context that has been built during the conversation, which is amazing. And even greater is the price. It's 10 times cheaper per 1,000 tokens. The DaVinci was 0.02 and this is 0.002 per 1,000 tokens, which makes it much more easier for you to monetize and to convert and make your business, your AI business, of course, more profitable. So go ahead and try it out. It's more complicated than actually just changing the engine technically in the code to GPT 3.5 Turbo. That's one of the steps, but let's see how we actually do it. Okay, so firstly, of course, we will need to update our OpenAI to 3.2.0 using npm i OpenAI. Okay, now that we're updated, let's have a look at this code snippet that I prepared for you. It's the same deal as using the previous API. Of course, you configure OpenAI API with your API key. Here we are getting a prompt from the user on the server side. And instead of using OpenAI create completion, we use create chat completion. Of course, the model is a new model, GPT 3.5 Turbo. And here we have messages instead of prompt. The messages is an actual array that contains contextual information or parts of the previous conversations. So the context will be saved over the requests. Here I attached a message as a system role, actually giving an indication for the model to be a helpful assistance. This is just a casual example from OpenAI actually. And then I attached the content of the user as his prompt. Okay, now of course I can also say that you're a mean assistant or a very sad assistant or a casual assistant or a very funny, casually speaking assistant, or not an assistant, or it can be a sous chef that is actually advising about recipes, for instance. So you can guide it and play around with it and see what happens. Now, as I mentioned before, you better include previous answers and questions in this messages array if you want to keep the context kicking and alive. This is max tokens that I chose. Of course, it also depends how long the context that you provide from previous answers and questions will be. But all you need to do is just take this code and play around with it. Good luck.